Hello, everyone. Welcome, everyone. We start in 3 minutes. 05. Thank you all for coming. Please feel free to use the chat and talk to each other. We have many people from India, from USA, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Rome. Hello, Andrea. Someone from Rome and Portugal, Montreal, Nadia. Hello. New York. No, participants cannot, I'm sorry about that, but you cannot record the session. We will be posting everything on our channel on YouTube. If you want, you can have a look at Rome, Our Lady's Rome YouTube channel. From Hamburg, hello, from St. Paul, Minnesota, welcome everyone. I forgot someone else. Madrid, California. I put some other links that you might find useful. So this is the exact link for our YouTube channel. So you find the recording at the end of the session here. Time's up. Welcome everyone. So this is our RCrash course, and we will be introducing our chapter, and then we get started. So I leave the floor to Kathy and to introduce ourselves.
Great. It's wonderful to see so many people have joined us from all over the world. Fantastic. So today, as you are all well aware, we will be completing this master crash course in our language, our code. Just a little bit of housekeeping. As Federica told you earlier, this talk will be recorded and will be posted on Our Lady's Rome on the YouTube channel, which is the link that she has posted in the chat. Please remember that to turn off your cameras. I believe they're all turned off anyway, if you do not want to be seen. And we prioritize a safe and inclusive space free from any form of harassment, fostering a respectful environment for everybody to learn and connect. And you should have all clicked on and seen our code of conduct before joining this course. If you do have questions throughout the course, you can raise your hand, and we'll hopefully be able to answer as many questions as possible. It is best, obviously, to keep them towards the end of the course, but if you do have questions moving forward, that's okay. We'll try and get to those anyway. If you do have a little bit of knowledge of coding or our code, the first thing we do need to do, as I continue with the introductions to the course, is to get yourself onto the Post-it Cloud account. So post-it.cloud, and you need to open the page, the main page, once you have your account. Okay. If you also are a little bit more advanced, let's say you have an inkling of how things work, you can install and load the packages, tidyverse and Tuesday are, but doesn't matter if you do that. But please go to the posit.cloud link and log into your account there. You should be able to log in with your Gmail account. That's the easiest way to log in. Otherwise, you'll be given other options. Okay. So welcome to this Mastering R event. This is the first intensive crash course for data enthusiasts. And my name is Katie Wood, and I'm one of the chapter organizers. Federica Gazzaloni is the wizard of the R code, and she'll be explaining very easily, very simply how this all works, because this is obviously for beginners. As I said, she'll be demonstrating how to take simple baby steps towards data analysis with R. In italiano. Benvenuti a questo corso intensivo di R. Io sono Katie Wood, una delle organizzatrici, con Federica Gazzaloni che farà il corso proprio. Siamo molto felici di avervi con noi per questo crash course. For those of you who do not know Our Ladies, I believe we have quite a few new members to this chapter. It's a global organization with the mission of promoting the R language and for empowering women at all user levels by building a collaborative global network. So for those of you who have just arrived, welcome to this network. It's a gender diversity friendly community and was founded in 2012 by Gabriela Di Queriots in San Francisco. And today it boasts 218 chapters in 29 countries and more than 93,000 members globally. So that's fantastic. If you do want to find out more about Our Ladies, you can find us on ourladies.org. Just a little bit about what we've done before. As you said, Our Ladies Rome is a local chapter of the Our Ladies Global, and we have monthly meetings providing a platform in which we can discuss current trends and hot topics in R. We do encourage active participation and engagement from all our attendees. So we would love to have any of your suggestions. We're open to comments. So please do get in touch if you do have anything you would like to share with us. The founder of the chapter is Claudia Vitolo, and she's also the co-founder of the Our Ladies Global organization. The main organizer of the chapter is Federica Gazzaloni, and I am the co-organizer. We are always open to new joiners, so if you'd like to contribute, as I said, please feel free to get in touch. So we've had a few events already in 2023. As you can see, we have these monthly webinars that have taken place so far. Which have all been very interesting and exciting, and we've had many people who have joined up to these events. The second half, so we obviously have today Mastering R, an intensive crash course for data enthusiasts. And in between October the 2nd and the 4th, we will be able to watch the BioConductor party for the BOC 2023 with Our Ladies Rome participation. And in September, we will be organizing a meet and greet in-person event in Rome for those of you who are in Rome. This is the BOC 2023 conference that will take place in Boston. At the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, and there will be a second one in Ghent, Belgium on September the 20th, 2023. That if you are interested, you feel free to sign up for that. In Chicago, the POSIT conference in 2023 will take place at the Regency Hyatt Regency in Chicago on September the 17th, for those of you who are in that area. Okay. So I think I'll hand over to you, Federica, to continue.
Thank you.
Shall I leave this up here and you can just talk through there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we are ready to get started. We will be diving into some basic code for analyzing data. And we use the Tidy Tuesday project, which is a weekly event within the R community, offering diverse data sets for practice with a variety of different types of data content. We will be using Posit Cloud. And so we eliminate the need for any installation, as we have very short time, but we will provide some direction afterwards to eventually install everything. And so we can jump right into coding. So in this session, I'll guide you through these steps for analyzing some data. And then after that, we'll split into breakout rooms where you can continue the data analysis just as we did it together. So it is a fantastic opportunity to apply what we learned and collaborate with your fellow participants. At the end of the course, you will receive an email with a second assignment that, if you like, you can send us back. And so you might receive a certification. So let's dive into it and make the most of it, this hands-on data analysis adventure. We like to know a bit more about each other. So we see who we are, where we're from, each other. If anyone is following the instruction correctly, any help, please ask help in the chat how to proceed. Can you please answer how familiar are you with R for data analysis on a scale of 1 to 5, please? Yeah, so we're all good. So this is what we expected. So that would be very interesting. So we get into coding, and what we are going to do is basically take a data set and analyze. So good. If you got problem, please shout me help. Okay. So this is the environment, and what are they? These are the files. Okay, we have, as you can see, the end of the file is different. So we have a different type of files that we can use. And if we click on this on the up left corner, this little arrow here, we have a list of possibility that we can do with R. Okay, there are many things, but we do step by step. Okay, the first type of files that we see, it's an R script, which is this one here, .r. So this is as well as if we open it from here, it is just a white page. It is a script, as in any other programming languages, and you can just start typing code and type an hashtag for any comment. Okay, R is an environment. It's a software, so where you can use as a calculator as well. So you can do 1 + 1, and then in the script, to make it run this bit of code, I need to highlight and run, and I have the result here in the console, or position my cursor on the line and do Command Enter on Mac, or Control Enter on Windows. And so this is the basics. So we might want to talk about vectors, any other things, that all the objects that are in R, okay? But we are going to see them while we get into our data, and then we examine all the things from there. Another type of file that we are going to use, it's this type of file, which is Quarto Markdown. And you find this type of file here as well, like a Quarto document. If you click, it opens up a file, just as the same as this one here. Okay, so these are an introduction, for example, made in this Quarto Markdown file. This is a type of file which is both a script where you can put code, but at the same time you can write without any need of put an hashtag for a comment. And so then you have this option here, the source. If you click on there, you have the source of the code. And if you click on visual, you can already see the output. If you render this file will be a sort of accept HTML language. So you can see this output as a very well presented summary of your analysis. Okay, this is, for example, my little introduction. If I, as you can see, I didn't install the packages yet, and anytime you close this session, you will need to do this again. And so in order to use these things, I need to install the packages. What are the packages? Okay, so we have a look at all the things. I click this render, and I haven't installed the packages. Okay, as you can see, I cannot do it without installing some packages. Okay, so yeah, if you need any help, please let me know, so because then we get started. Okay, so please have these 2 packages installed on your cloud. I put in the chat, and you have it in the introduction. Okay, so I click this green arrow, and I am now installing the packages. I look at the console, and as you can see, I'm installing the package. What are these packages? Okay, R allows you for some basic functions which are already there, and as any other programming languages, you know that you can make functions, do calculations, manipulate objects, and a package is basically a collection of all those things made by users or professional data scientists within the R community, that then they basically package up on a package. And then when you need specific function that have been set up on a package, you can use them, install the package. Okay, and the packages can contain data sets as well. as functions and so objects. So now what I did it within these few seconds are installing both packages, tidyverse and the tidytuesday_r. Okay, so now the packages are installed, and this can simply be closed. And now that the packages are installed, I can render this document. It then can be compiled to produce an output, which will be your final summary if you do data analysis. Okay, so this is what it's basically R. It is a programming languages, a statistical development environment, which is usually used for data analysis. You can use it for visualization and even modeling. So basically, it's used for statistics, and it's the best part. It is that it is an open source language, so it's completely free, and it provides a wide range of function packages and so many things. There's tons of tutorials on YouTube and everything. So if you need any help, you might want to like sort of type your question just on a web browser, and it will lead you to an answer. Okay, so what we do today, we cover basic concepts. We looked already a bit at the RStudio environment. We are now going to manage packages and libraries, importing and exporting data, making data wrangling and manipulation, and then finally create plots. Okay, so we are not only using base R, but we use the tidyverse. The tidyverse syntax, it is a bit of like more sort of human readable type of coding, which is built on R. Okay, fundamental functions. One more interesting thing. What's happening if we do this? Okay, help start. If I go back to my environment, I can brush up my console here, so I can clean everything up. And then Ctrl+V, so I copy this thing. If I, on the console, just click Enter, what's happened here is that I have some help in the Help tab here. And so, as you can see, there's many interesting things that you might want to look at afterwards. Introduction, writing things, so resources. Okay. Also, as you might have noticed or not, I don't know, on top here, there is a tab named Tutorial. Okay. These tutorials, for example, require a couple of extra packages, the Shiny package and the Learner package. So if we basically install them, just clicking here, all safe, nothing wrong. What's happened is that we now have a list of possible tutorials, which are can be customized as you need it. So if you just click on one of them, it leads you on a Shiny app, which is a web page which is interactive, and you can put things inside it. Okay. All right. So I give you about 3 minutes break before we step into the other part of the course. 3 minutes. So it's 45. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we are all like refreshed. I mean, hope you had the time to a look at the environment, and now we get started. So this is basically the same type of file that we used, but now we are going to produce a summary with some data, and because we carry a bit of analysis. Okay, so obviously data manipulation, it's one of the fundamental skills in the field of data science. It involves the process of transforming, organizing, cleaning raw data to make it suitable for analysis and visualization. So we use this Tidy Tuesday resource of data, which we will be talking about that a bit more later. And you might want to look for this on Twitter with an hashtag Tidy Tuesday. You find more information about it. But you will receive an email with all the material. So it is a popular weekly project. Also, more something that which is very important to mention is the R for Data Science online learning community, which is a very good environment where to ask for help and find people like you, which is starting with R, and you can talk to have more information about this. I'll put the link in the chat in case you might want to have a look at this information. Okay, so you should have this file just as the same as me. And so you might want to split your desk and code with me or not. So it's entirely up to you. At the end of this demo, you will be sent into a breakout room and do your assignment, and you will receive the full material. So it's not absolutely, you're not, if you can basically type with me, it's absolutely fine. Okay. So first things that we need to do, this is a chunk of code within our file. So it is not just a simple script page. And so anytime we need a chunk of code, we might want to use this Alt Command and I on Mac, for example. If I do Alt Command and I can open up a new chunk. Okay, or otherwise I can go here where this C is for insert a new code chunk. If I click on there, a new code chunk appears, and inside I can start computing code, and clicking this green arrow, I can receive the output. I can see the output here, not in the console. Okay, so I have that in the console as well, but you have it here, and so you then can produce your summary. There's many ways to do not show the code on your summary, but this is maybe something that we do on the next course. Okay, when we improve our understanding. Okay, so we click this green arrow, and then with this function library, we load these two packages, the Tidyverse and the Tidy Tuesday R. The Tidyverse is a meta package which contains other packages inside. The Tidy Tuesday R, it's let's have a look at, if I do Tidy Tuesday R ::, what I see here is the list of available functions or datasets, or in this case, objects, operators, that are available within a package. The same as this is the same for any other packages. One more thing that I can do a question mark, a package, if I don't know what a function, a specific function here. I do tab after the double semicolon. And so, for example, let's have a look at this TT load function, what does. So I put a question mark and then command enter or control enter. Okay, because I cannot do that if this is in place like that. So, okay, so what's happened when I do control enter on this line to have more information about a specific function, it opens up an help page, so I can find information about the function. So for example, this TT load function, it's from the Tidy Tuesday R package, and these are the objects that you are allowed to put inside the function. So you can have data. You will learn how to read this documentations. Most importantly, they are all from diverse authors. So you might find very interesting help files that provide you with all the information. Okay, so these are all the options that you can put inside the function. So this is a function, and then you find the example, how to use the function. Okay, in this case, what we do basically is just specify a date, because as I mentioned, this Tidy Tuesday project release a different data set each week. So we are interested in a particular data set, which is has been released on this date. Okay, and it is all about type of programming languages. Okay, so what we do, having loaded the packages that we need, it's use this function that will be able to load the data using an API, okay, which is basically a command that will backwards go to the container of this data on the web and download the data into your environment. Okay, so but it's a lifesaver function, so we can just use this without thinking about anything else. Then you might see that there is another syntax here. Okay, so now we assign the result of this function to an object. Okay, we can call it whatever we like. In this case, we call it TT as a Tidy Tuesday. And then we use this operator, which is this one here, to assign the output of the function to a variable. There is something in the chat. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's run this thing and let's have a look at this. As you see, it shows that we have a languages .csv file. Okay, if we have a look at the environment, the file is here, but is still on a description environment. Okay, so because these files can be more than one. So what we do now is have a look at this TT file, and as you can see, we have here in the viewer some explanation about the files, the programming languages. What is this? Who provided the programming languages? This is the week 12. And so all the things that are inside the various variables. how do we do to have a look at the data? So now we have this TT. We just follow the steps. How do we use this data? Okay, so if there are other functions to have a look at inside the data. If we use this map glimpse, for example, or we can use str, for example, I can do these things. I comment this out and change completely what I'm doing. What's happened here is basically that I'm using an operator. This is called a pipe, okay, which is this operator. This operator, it's basically a link between two our objects, okay? So this is my object. I link this object to another function. I don't specify, it depends by the type of functions, okay? So this function can be used like this. If I click on there, this is basically release the structure of our data set, okay? So you can see the name as in here, what's a spec of what is inside, okay? Or there's other function that you can use, such a glimpse. For example, I can do TT and the pipe and then glimpse. As well as before, I have some information. There are packages. Oops. There are packages which provides with some which provide functions for you to examine your data and see what are, if they are numbers, characters, if they have been assigned as factors, and all those things. Okay, so let's start assigning. If I do, this is one of the first question of your assignment, okay? So is access the data set by name using a $sign. So I have this TT and I use the $sign. So as you can see, this is again an operator which is used to extrapolate objects from a multiple container of more than one object. As this TT, which is this one here, can contain more than one data set, okay? You can extrapolate the one that you want this way, and then assigning to a name. Okay, so this is what we do. And so doing this way, we now have our data set, which we can even have a look at it with using the pipe and the add function. The add function is basically extrapolating the top part of your data set, so the first 6 rows, and we can see, for example, have more information. If I do Alt-Control-I, I split the chunk, and then I can add another one. I use this dimension function, dim, to see how many observation I've got in the data set and how many variables. Okay, so this is a data set which has 4,303 rows and 49 columns. Okay, what I like to show you is this is what is inside the first 6 rows. If I assign this to long short, okay, this way what I did, and then I cannot see the output this way, okay, but if I put it within the brackets and I run it, I can see the output, or I can just call the variable and can see the output. What I want to do now is to write a CSV. This is a reader package, which is within the tidyverse meta package. Okay, this writes a CSV and save the CSV. Let's create a new folder. Create a new folder. You can create a new folder here, and we call it data. Okay. Okay. So we have a new folder, data, and so we want to save this as a to have it as a CSV. So we take this and then we put it in data, and we call it just as the same but CSV. Okay. If we run this, we can even split the chunk and run just this bit. Okay, we'll have a look at the data, and the magic is here. So we have a CSV file. What's happened if I look at it? So I can view the file or import the dataset. So we have an idea of what's happening here. I do import the dataset. It takes a minute. They're just 6 rows. So now we can see a spec of the dataset on a more like familiar way, and you can paste and copy this to open up into R. This is when you have a CSV file, you can open it into R and use it. Another way, we don't want to use this function. Another way is to use the view function. This is a function that opens up the dataset on a tab here, and so you have all the things. You can like have a look at it a bit more specifically, but it is not Excel. So the difficulties are into passing from Excel into R, but then you find the benefit, basically. It's a stable environment, very difficult to be misleading within cells, information, everything. And so it might take a bit to get used to, but then you find the benefit to use it. Okay, so we are now basically, you might want to save your analysis somehow. You modify your data, select some rows, some columns, modify other columns, just as the same as you do in Excel. You do slightly different in R. So we now have this, where is it? We don't want the short to view. We want the language to see. Okay, so this is our data set. Okay, as you can see, there's some missing values and all the things, some missing information. What's in there? So we have the name of the programming languages, which are not only programming languages, because they are query languages, text markup, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what also we have is the year the language appeared in the market, and this is what interests us most. Okay, and then we have the rank, the language rank. We have many informations, but in particular the number of users. We have some counts. We have the number of users, and so the community and some other, even this Wikipedia summary piece of text that can be analyzed. It's interesting. But for now, what we do, it's basically ask some questions. Okay, there is something in the chat. I can't figure it out why I'm getting error. Cannot open file for writing. Cannot open file. I thought I covered everything correctly. Okay, so if anyone can help out, please but you should you can open it with Excel eventually, or with R, and you say to open it, you need to click on this import file, and then as you can see, you need to use read CSV function. You just grab this bit, put it into R, and run it, basically. Okay, but you can get into it. Let's go forward. So what is our research question? There is another thing in the chat. Did you create a data folder first? Exactly. So, okay. No, I didn't create the data folder first. I created now. You might don't find it in your copy. So for this reason, now in about 10 minutes, we give you everything to so all done. So what is your research question? Okay, for example, it's very important to specify a research question, and what we want to do is basically select some specific variables from our data set. We like to have the title, the type, the year, period, the language, rank, and so we use the select function. So with select function, we can select some variables and assigning to data a new name. Okay, so we now have a new data set, which is you know, it's as less variables than before. So we had many. Now, as you can see, with I used again the glimpse, we have just these functions, and this is our new data set, the data set where we are going to use. In particular, interesting things that we can do is we can ask ourselves, like, what something about R. So let's select just the R programming language and have a look at the available information. Okay, so how do we do that? We use the filter function. So there's many functions that you can use, but they are quite reasonable. Okay, so you think about you filtering things. Okay, and what are you filtering? The titles, because you want to select just the R language. So you're filtering the title equals, and you need to put this double this type of operator in R. If I do this, I filter just R, and I have all in one row. Okay, if I use this other function, which is transpose, I can transpose the information and have all here. You can see information about R, which is inside there. So appear 93. The language rank is 15, but this rank is included within the different type of languages. So this is a programming languages, but we have different type of languages, query languages, text markup, within all the languages. Then it is open source and the number of users by the time of this data set. Okay, so how the R programming language is ranked in comparison to other languages, particularly concerning the number of users. How can we answer these questions? Okay, so let's have a look at this piece of code. Okay, so we can, for example, use the relocate function. Okay, and we basically move this variable on the top of the data set. Okay, now language rank is here, instead was bit behind, and then we slice, and so basically we cut. Okay, this is the language rank. I take just the first 20 languages. Okay, and do slice 1 to 20, and so I have the first 20 languages, which is included R, that was number 15. There's more in the chat. Thanks. Might be double quotation. Okay. Let's see now if we do a visualization. Okay, so it's basically a bit more visible, clear what's happening there. To visualize something, we can use, for example, a syntax. Okay, let's put it here. So we use ggplot function, and then instead of the pipe, we use the plus operator, and then we can add geom things, point, line, segments, call, whatever you like. Okay, let's say point, for example. Okay, so this is the way to do a visualization. This is the grammar of graphics plot. Okay, so if I grab this thing and I put it here, I can now transform this into a visualization. Okay, inside there will be the data, but they are here. So I use this data, they are piped within the function. Then I use this function, which is aesthetic, where I specify the X and the Y. And then I can do the geom point. Okay, for example, what if I use something which is very apparently complicated? Okay, so I use on the x-axis the number of users, on the y-axis the title. Okay, but let's use this without anything else, just to have a look at it. Okay, as you can see, I have now visually something about the number of users, but I need to put it in order. Okay, so to order, I mean, this is a factor. I reorder this the languages by the number of users with this function. Anytime, and now they are ordered. Okay, R is here, and by the number of users, R is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now in reverse. Okay, so now anytime you need something about a function, what do? You do a question mark, a function, and then hit enter. Here you have where the function is from, which packages you have already installed, because you can use it. And then there is a description, the usage, and an example on how to use it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is what this is our first visualization. Okay, so I think it's nice. We have another question. What is the release date of R and the timing of other languages releases that precede and follow it? So what are the other, basically, languages at the same time? Okay, so we can do a very complicated plot, which I show you entirely. Okay, so we have, this is the same data set as before that we used, and then we add a geom segment. Okay, and so basically we have the X, when you think about segment. So basically, when you use anything that you use, anything that you need think about what you are looking for, what you needed, and what it is reasonable. Okay, so you need a point to start and a point to end. And this is what is needed inside the segment. Okay, I'll show you just this to a quick look. Okay, I created segments. Okay, and these are the years, and so R is from Python and Java in terms of years released year. Okay, so the last things I like to see is how R is ranked among open source languages. Okay, which can be different. Okay, and we do a little of manipulation, such as we filter, because we haven't had a quick. Let's do it here. Okay, we haven't had a quick look, but if we do data, these are our data, no? Okay, if I use this function count, and then I want to see, because here is open source, there's many missing value. So I like to count, like it's a sort of summary, it's a table. It counts the different, the contents in this variable. So I can see that I have some false, some true, and a large number of missing values. Okay, so in this case, to deal with missing value, I just get rid of them. Okay, so with this exclamation mark. So I don't want all that is not within the open source variable. Okay, so I filter out all of them, and now I don't have any missing value anymore. And then what I do here, which is a very interesting part, I group by, I use this function, group by. Okay, you in your assignment, you just do the same as we did it. Okay, and this is basically group the elements. Your table will be grouped by false and true in open source. And then we basically reframe the data set, creating a new variable, which is the mean of the number of users. And we use the mean function. Okay, here we calculate the mean. The mean is the mean function, that is such as I calculate the mean of 2, 3, and 5. So the mean is 1. I calculate the mean, and then I create a new function, a new variable, which is the proportion, and I'm going to basically reproportionate the mean of the number of users on their sum. Okay, so this is my new little table where I have 15% it's not open source, and 84% it's open source. Okay, so, and what I finally like to see is where is R on this open source. And so I see that R is first of the open source languages. How I did it is basically exactly the same as before, but I specify, I filter it by to be just programming languages. Okay, yeah, I think all is done. What is left is just a repetition, because what I did it is basically giving a name to this plot, and I call it P2. And then I put this P2 here. If I click this, I have the plot, and then I can save the plot running these things as is. Oh, I need to put P2. So if I do tab inside the function, what's appear here is all the things that I can use. So I need this plot. and I call it P2 and then comma, so anything that has a comma, and then I can run it. If I have a look at the image folder, I have now my first plot here, which is a PNG file. Okay, I'm now going to stop sharing. Yeah, okay. So I give you 2 minutes break, and then so I'll open up the assignment, and then I split you within the breakout rooms.